Tell him I got the juice.
Dating a broke guy, and it really, really sucks because he
Okay, hold on. First off, she brought that to the internet. What? Hey, all right, hold on. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but y'all like, what do we get out of that? I'm gonna go ahead and pull out Bible early. This is why it's important to think before you speak. Um, like you came to the internet with this and expected what kind of answers? Jesus help us. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. You came to the internet, dog? What?
has the best personality, hands down. I have so much fun with him, and but it's like it's gotten to the point where right now I'm not doing as financially well as I normally do.
Okay.
So in the past, like we have taken trips, but I've paid for the trips, I've paid for the hotel,
Okay.
I've paid for the rental of the car. If
Mm-hmm.
we've been to concerts, I've paid for the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
He does what he can when he can,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? But he
Enough.
does what he can when he can.
What so here's my question. What is enough? What is enough? Um what does doing enough look like? Obviously, I think she's speaking of a financial positioning here, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I just feel like there are so many people who would take the position of saying, even though he may not be where he wants to be financially, this is my person. And more importantly, God is in the midst of this connection and relationship. And because there's so much more to life than how much money you make. And I think looking back, when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to be concerned about how much money you made. And if you wish you would have made an extra dollar, but rather the time invested into the people you were around and the people that you built community and relationship with. I just think there might be more people. I'm willing to go on the limb and say that there's probably more people who are like, yeah, I would rather be with somebody who I enjoy doing life with and have the opportunity to build the life we both want than for this person to have it all together earthly and materially, and I'm miserable and can't enjoy it. So my question is, what is enough? And before all the red pillars start coming through, oh, we ain't never been enough. We ain't never gonna have it enough. Listen, I speak to that candidly. I don't say this in a manner of mocking energy, but I say this because that a lot of times comes from a hurt place. And so, man, if you guys want to check out how to navigate through rejection, link is in the description. 7-day devotional journey helping you really unpack that to begin going on a healing process in the right spaces to eventually live again and find love again. So click the link in the description. I want you guys to check that out. But this is the kind of stuff that men see and they haven't even experienced it, but they're like, bro, see, Red Pill was right. Justin Waller was right. Fresh and Fit was right. Kevin Sam was right. And it's like, nah, bro, nah. And to be fair, I don't really even know where all she's coming from with this. I don't know what she wants. I don't know what she's looking for. I don't desire to attack her character because I don't know her. I'm just taking the information that she's giving and I'm simply raising the question, what does it mean for him to be doing enough? And if he did enough in the other areas that we may prioritize more than money, like vision, direction, same value system, like I'm just trying to figure out what, if he does enough in those areas, is it okay for him to have a moment in a season where he's not doing enough financially, but he's making strides too? So we aren't just saying he can just be, at this level of not doing anything and moving lazily, but he's actually putting in the right effort and it just takes time to cultivate that. Are you willing to cultivate that with him?
But it's gotten to the point where it definitely sucks because I'm not doing as well financially. I can't afford to do things for two people. I can't even afford to do things just myself right now. So, because I can't afford to do things for two, we actually don't do anything. We haven't done anything. Like, if I'm being for real, for honest, like in September, for my birthday month. He does celebrate me around those times though. He does celebrate me around the holidays.
W Mans. I think I'm just trying to, let me just keep listening. I'm trying.
He does celebrate me around my birthday. But Yeah, it's been October, November, December, January. So for the past 4 months, me and him, we just been like sitting ducks.
Okay.
And yeah, it sucks. Like it's crazy.
So you want okay, so it sounds like she wants to go do things, and ain't nobody hating on that, right? Like you want to go out places, enjoy certain experiences and adventures, go on trips and vacations. I think, man, if I'm being honest, again, I just want y'all to take this with a grain of salt. I am a single Christian man who desires to have a marriage. So you're getting that from a perspective, limited perspective, but albeit always a biblical perspective. I will say this just from the relationships and marriages that I am around. I think there's a time and season for that. Like you'll have seasons like maybe where she's at in this video of, man, you're not doing a whole lot. You're grinding though. You're both grinding. You both got some things going and you're trying to cultivate and create the life that you're looking to live and enjoy. And so it takes a season of building, of planting, of sowing, of delayed gratification. And then you will get to that place where you're able to go and do. I just think there's a process and a spectrum to some of those things, right? I think this is a good teachable moment though, of really trying to really consider what are we willing to prioritize as men, as people, like what are we really prioritizing when it comes to these relationships in 2024? And beyond. If this person is who you need in your life and you have to be willing to put in some effort and work in order to get to where you both want to go, you always need to ask yourself, do you have the capacity to build this out in the way that it needs to be built? Here's a better question. Do you have the capacity regarding your vision and the calling God has for you and what you've been pursuing and purpose for in your singleness? Do you have the capacity to walk this out and to be with this person and commit to this person, See, man, can I go full screen for a second? Let me just say this. Tim Ross did a beautiful video with his wife on Valentine's Day. They went down the line on the marriage vows. All right, so this is Tim Ross going down the line about basically the wedding vows that take place on marriage. And this is all going to make sense because again, I think in today's culture, we're continuing to increase in the desacralization of marriage and really seeing the benefits of it, seeing the good that can come out of it. And so this is really helpful, especially when it comes to moments like these where, you kind of hit a bump in the road with wrestling with what you want versus what you need and being in certain spaces like this. I think this is the mindset we need to have as we're dating. Because we're not just dating to date, right? We're dating with the intention to marry. That's the whole purpose of it. And so these are some things that you want to think about when you're courting and pursuing somebody. So take a listen to some of this.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God.
That's right.
And his company, which makes the company co-witnesses with God.
That's right.
That's
even the people attending the wedding are participants in the wedding. Okay. Dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of God in this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Marriage is an honorable estate. Instituted of God, blessed by our Lord Jesus Christ, and declared by St. Paul to be honorable among men. It is not, therefore, to be entered into without holy advice or lightly. I mean, this is a caution.
That's right.
On the day
of.
The officiant is if they're reading this and not coming up with no jazzy,
that's right,
new age, neo-Christian version of what a wedding is, he's warning you.
After you've already went through premarital.
After you've already went through premarital. You already sitting there. You already at the event. You came up to the event and guess what you're getting? A warning.
That's right.
It is not therefore to be entered into without holy advice or lightly, but reverently, soberly, advisedly, and in the fear of God. Let us therefore, under the seriousness of this act, this is the verbiage, invoke divine presence upon this occasion, right? Then there's a prayer. Before there's even an exchange, here's the next part. I now charge both of you.
That's right.
As you stand in the presence of God. A reminder again. You ain't just doing this for kicks and giggles.
It's in the presence of God.
To remember that true love and faithful observance of your marriage vows are required.
That's right.
As the foundation of a successful marriage and the establishment of a happy and enduring home. Without these, there can be no real marriage, and the home which you will endeavor to establish will be a vain effort. Keep the solemn vows you are about to make. Live with tender consideration for each other. Conduct your lives in honesty and truth, and your marriage will last. Your home will be lasting. The commitment.
This is important, bro. Like, I hear this and I'm like, man, why not get into the thought process of what to expect when you get into marriage, man? I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect and you're going to know everything, but why not, as you're single, get to know some of these things and understand the seriousness of marriage in order for you to properly prepare for marriage in the best manner possible, yo. Why not? If somebody can tell me in the comment section, why not, as a single guy, why wouldn't I put myself in a position, if my desire is to be married, why wouldn't I put myself in a position to learn of something like this and be able to reflect as I am on a crash course of trying to find the love of my life and really have those questions bouncing in my mind as we navigate and be present, right? Not rushing to marriage, not rushing to those destinations, but just being present and asking myself, like, yo, I'm learning a lot about this girl. I'm learning a lot about her. Dope, cool. We got giggles for days. We can have amazing conversation, competitive, all these types of things. Like, is this somebody that I can commit to? Is this somebody that I can see myself? The more I learn and the more I understand, I want to meet you at the altar.
Into marriage will be a blessing to you, and you will and will be a blessing to others. This should be remembered as you now desire to be united in holy wedlock.
That's right.
This is the vows first to the man and woman that just need I do. Do you take this woman or man to be your wedded wife or husband? And do you earnestly promise, once again, before God and these witnesses, that you will love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and that forsaking all others for her alone, you will perform unto her or him all the respect that a husband owes to his wife until God by death shall separate you? The man and the woman are supposed to say, I do, right? They have to say, I do, before they exchange vows with each other.
It is so important. Like, when we talk about marriage, okay, and in relation to where this girl is, this is one of those moments. Like, if this is somebody that you look at and you say, yo, I think I want to marry them, the only downside is the finances, and we can cultivate that. We can work something out. When there's a will, there's a way. You can work something out. Boy, I'm telling you, that when there's a will, there's a way. You can work something out, and you can make the decision to cultivate that. This is one of those moments. You're starting to see, what do you really care about from this space? What you're really looking for from this space? Because I promise you, if I were to go through this comment section, there are so many women who be like, girl, leave him. You deserve better, queen. What happened to making the decision to commit to somebody even when they're building and you're both building and build together? I'm not saying that this is something that is expected of you in such a space, because there's a lot of context there. But I'm saying, if you're in a serious committed relationship and this is going somewhere, why not? This is really a part of the toxicity we see in relationships today. We don't want to stick around and build with people. We just want our names attached to projects already completed. And we don't want to put in no effort and no work. And I'm not saying that this is her, because I don't know her. But I think a message that can be conveyed based on what she is saying can be, hey, I deserve better. And what we're saying is that I'm above where you are in your financial progression, and I deserve somebody who already has more. Instead of looking at that and saying, man, you know what, even though the finances may not be all together, what else does this person have that I can look at and say, yo, this makes sense, and I enjoy being here? And I know that because financial or monetization is a materialistic thing, we can put some things together and build this thing out together. My biggest point when it comes to marriage is, this is a season that you have to consider. You're not just going to be able to get up and go when the finances ain't where you want them to be and y'all can't take trips. Are you really down for this person through sickness and in health, rich or for poor, seasons that fluctuate? Are you really about that? I think that's something that we should consider. And I think that is something based on the person that we encounter, the relationship that's cultivated, values that are on the same foundation, and being able to understand the rest as we move along. Like, and in our dating spaces, singles, hear me, in your dating space, be willing to consider that. And as you're cultivating and trying to see what's what, kind of ask yourself, man, can I see myself committing to this person, what am I really here for? Am I here because I'm just infatuated and because I'm just enjoying what the gifts are and what I'm getting? Or is it really because of the person? And no matter what state they may be in, I am willing to commit to this person. I'm not saying be married and you're dating. I'm saying be prepared, be willing to go through processes of preparation for marriage, even when you're dating, because that still influences and enhances the purpose of why you're dating.
I don't think I feel like females come online and talk about look what he bought me, look what he got me, look at where he took me. It's like the ones that are dating the broke men, we don't talk about it, but it's no, I mean, I don't know, there has to be a conversation about it. And it really sucks because I feel like it's kind of getting to the point where if I'm not the breadwinner, or if I don't somehow make my life lead me up to making income for two, I don't think that I'm going to be able to be with this person. And it just really sucks because like I said, he has the best personality hands down. So I'm on here to ask, what do I do? And
yeah, no, that ain't the move. I'm telling you that right now. You made that was your first wrong decision, is hitting that record button and putting it on TikTok. But that's neither here nor there. Look, did y'all catch that? I want y'all to go back to what she said here. Did y'all catch that? Look at this.
Come online and talk about look what he bought me, look what he got me, look at where he took me. It's the ones that are dating the broke men, we don't talk about it, but it's no, I mean,
okay, y'all, here it is. This is all we needed. Comparison is what is causing a lot of that emotion and that response out of her. Again, I could be wrong. And I'm humble enough to admit that. Again, single guy, always looking to move from a biblical perspective. Comparison is a thief of joy. And comparison has a way of keeping you from focusing on the good that you already have in abundance, zooming in so far on the lack that you abandon what you already have in abundance to chase after what you thought you lacked, and it ends in turmoil. It doesn't end well. Can I tell you where I see this at? Let's go to the scriptures. I'm a big fan of it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. And then he says, it's not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. God creates Eve, or the woman who Adam names woman. He later names Eve in the scriptures. But this is important. So verse 15 lets us know that there is an abundance of fruit available to Adam and eventually this woman that God brings to him. There's an abundance here. But he makes it known, you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. Right? So this tree that is in the smack dab middle of the garden, there's so much abundance around them. But how I like to look at this text just intrinsically, if you will let me indulge in this for a second, they see this tree and they're like, yo, but we want that one. We know you gave us all this and we know we have all this, but we want that one. And look what happens when they indulge into this tree by way of the serpent tempting Eve, and then Eve taking bite of it and giving it to Adam. Then the man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord God. He was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And so really, as we continue throughout the rest of this chapter, after they take of this temptation, everything just starts falling apart. The woman, the man, the serpent, everything is cursed. The fall of mankind. They're excused from the garden. The rest is history, right? Here's why I want to get to you. Adam and Eve had so much around them, and it was their focus on the lack that led them to abandoning all that was good, all that they had, causing them to ultimately fall. May I submit to you that the reason you may be in a position similar to this lady here, whether it's in a relationship or even in your singleness, the reason why you are unable to enjoy it, actually find value in it, is because you are so busy looking at what other people have, seeing you don't have it, wishing you had it, and are unable to enjoy where you are. Comparison, draining you of joy, of peace, of abundance because of our focus. Our focus is on what we don't have instead of being in places of gratitude. So let me ask you this question. What is good about the relationship you have with yourself or with others before you are so quick to abandon them because of something they don't have enough of right now? And what role could you play in helping cultivate what you feel they're missing that could help elevate and enhance the relationship? Because I think what we do is because we don't see 100% of everything we want, we would rather abandon the 80 for the 20. And then we get it and we're like, yo, I mean, they had that 20, but they was missing the 80, and this is worse. What good is around you right now? What's good about your singleness? What's good about singleness? What's good about your dating relationship right now? Before you throw a fit and begin complaining and draining energy from the relationship and becoming toxic over time with your words, with your thinking patterns, with your responses, hey, what's good about them? See, instead of pointing out all of their flaws and what they don't have, what do they have and how do you benefit from it? How have you enjoyed it? Let's think about that for a second, because I think by way of putting thought there, we're able to actually maximize the relationships around us. I'm not advocating for you to stay in a relationship that has been toxic and terrible and isn't good for you, and giving yourself excuses to stay in something that clearly is not good for you, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Like, I'm not telling you that. Please don't hear that. If you are in a toxic or abusive relationship, please leave. But to those of you who are in connections and relationships to people where it's not all that you may have hoped it would be at this point, and you are contemplating abandoning it because this person isn't up to speed in certain areas of their life, financially, materialistically, those kinds of things, I need you to zoom out on focusing on what they don't have and ask yourself, what do they have? What brought me here in the first place? What gave me permission to remain here in the first place? And how could I be a part of the cultivation, the building, the process, the journey of ultimately where we want to go? Because I think if you focus on the abundance, there's so much more that comes out of the relationship. So let me know you guys' thoughts. Long reaction, I know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you feel the same about relationships the way she does and how she viewed it? Do you think she was coming from a place of comparison, or do you think it was something different? Let me know your thoughts on this. And I appreciate you guys oh so much. And until our next conversation, be easy and be breezy, my friend. Peace.